Okay, so the Sadducees and Pharisees differ on what they believe, and the Pharisees themselves have issues in between them. They have two big schools. One is Shammai, one is Gamaliel. Gamaliel is a little more liberal in his thinking. Shammai is or Shammai, or whatever, I hope I'm not butchering his name. He's very, very much conservative. Nobody else can be a Jew except you're born that way. And all these other, you have to do this, you have to, strict adherence to the law. And the Pharisees start making up things about their interpretations and binding those things on the people as well. Sadducees are very powerful. They're a very powerful force, and we see later that the Sadducees just caused Paul grief time after time after time. So these are the two things, the Zealots and the Essenes. Now the Essenes are kind of a behind the scenes people. They are kind of, and this is just from what I've read, they are kind of, they want to study the Bible, they want to study the scriptures, and they do write out their own scriptures, and they say that's where the Dead Sea Scrolls come from. At least that's what I've read. I don't know how true that is, so take that with a grain of salt. We don't see a lot about them in the scriptures, but they essentially detach themselves from culture, from everyday life. They don't want to live in the city. They want to live outward and live a simple life. They don't want a lot of things. They just want to please God and that sort of thing. And I'm not going to get into any great detail. I just read a little bit about them. But that faction is within Israel at the time. And then we see the Zealots. What's a Zealot? Well, the Zealots were alive during that day, and they were basically what we would call today radicals, right? Against the government. They didn't like Rome. They felt like Rome doesn't respect God, and because of that, and they don't respect us, they don't respect our customs, we want to get rid of them. And they would, a lot of times, resort to violence. It wasn't uncommon to resort to violence. So that's the Zealots. So all of these people are out there at this time. It's just culture, that's all.